What is going on, everybody? My name is Nick from MWK-Pop, and I want to welcome you back for another video in my series covering 120 of my favorite K-pop songs from 2015. Of course, another video means we're covering another 10 songs off of that list. We're going to be making it up to number 50 by the time that we're finished with this one, so let's get it started. And we're going to lead off. The first song of the video is from Boa and Kiss, and the title is Kiss My Lips. So Kiss My Lips is the first actual release from Boa that I have actually been, actively involved in K-pop for, that I've actually paid any sort of attention for. So that was an exciting thing just because, she's kind of, a big deal. And this has been, it's a Korean comeback as well. So in that regard, it's pretty important because it's been, a while, I suppose, since she's actually had a real since she's had a Korean comeback, and this is basically kind of like what I would have, expected when I was finished listening to the song and watching the video. I was like, you know what? That's exactly what I would have expected from her, because it's, it's not anything, it's not crazy, it's not anything super crazy impressive as far as like just blowing my mind, but the thing that it does have is that it is just solidly executed from the concept to the song, the sound of the music, just every aspect of this is solidly executed. That's exactly what I would have expected from someone who's been making music for about as long as I've been alive. So that is, definitely really, really good, and she delivered exactly what I would have expected. So moving on from Boa, who's a veteran, to a group that's a rookie and we've never heard of them before, and that group is Romeo. Their debut song, Lovesick, was not, I wouldn't say really good. I was about to, but I'm not going to say that, because it's a decent song, it's good, it's enjoyable. And the thing that makes it, good and enjoyable is that it's a different sort of sound. It definitely sounds different. It stands out from a lot of other releases this year, and that is good. But the thing is that the sound of the song, for me personally, is, listening to it for a while is really cool. Or listening to it every once in a while is really cool. Listening to it frequently is kind of annoying just because of the sound for that. So, that's just my personal thing. But a song that I could listen to, or at the time that it was released that I had on repeats constantly, was My First from Jung Hyun-sung, from his solo debut, basically is what it was. And, after the whole, honeymoon period wore off, where I loved the song, ultimately, it's not really like a smash hit, but it's still a really good song. It's a lot of fun to listen to, and I really, really do enjoy that aspect of it. And, for it being a debut song, it's not specifically, it's a bit different, I guess you can say, than what he would have done as a part of the group. But then again, it's like his part in Troublemaker, he's just doing it on his own a little bit. That's just my personal, feeling, and that's cool. But, Troublemaker's cool. Troublemaker's also not that cool, and, at the same time in ways. We're moving to another rookie group that is also super, super cool. I really, really like them, and that is Monsta X, and their debut song, Trespass, is really, really awesome. Now, they're not bringing anything sort of game-changing or even really particularly interesting as far as, their style and genre of music, because it's, that K-pop version of like actual real hip-hop and rap. They're not doing anything crazy, but what they are doing is they're delivering a really, really good product, a fantastic song, something that has got a really, really, catchy and memorable chorus. The choreography to it, as well as also, you've got some dance moves in there that are definitely pretty memorable, so that's pretty good. Really, really good from a debut song. I'm very, very happy and impressed with that. Not to mention, I saw these guys perform at KCON, and they were freaking awesome. So this group is good. I think that they're going to go a really, really long way. So look forward to Monsta X, becoming a big name in K-pop in the next few years. Someone who is already a big name, and his, brand name and recognition has just increased exponentially as the year has gone on. Zion T and the song Eat. And how do I say how much? I can't specifically say how much I love this song, because it's most of Zion T's music, as you'll see as a theme as we continue on with this, because his music will pop up quite frequently in this series as we continue on with the videos, is, I don't have words to describe why I like it. I just do. It's just, his music is indescribable, or something. I don't specifically have the words to describe what is great about it, what I like about it, other than I love it. It's really, really awesome. I love listening to it. It's just really, really fantastic music. Speaking of fantastic music, we're moving on to SHINee and their song View. And when I say fantastic music, I say fantastic music as in the best release of SHINee's career when this song came out. We're not talking about Married to the Music, but when this song came out, this was, in my opinion, the best song that SHINee has ever released, and that is really, really awesome. It's fantastic. It's really, really great. Of course, SM Entertainment had been, up to that point, putting out some absolutely brilliant music. We got Boa, as I mentioned earlier in the year, who released a really, really awesome song, and SHINee has released a really fantastic song that was a bit or a huge change from their style previously to bring us this sort of like synth pop, electro pop kind of sort of sound, which is really, really cool. Got to give the producers of the song some credit for that, because they really kicked SM took them to a new level for this year, and that's really, really great. So not only is View really, really good, and that the album that it's on is also pretty damn good as well. There's some really, really good songs on there. So if you haven't listened to it yet, you definitely should. Although I don't know why I'm saying that, because you probably have already listened to it. Now, we're going to talk about a group or a guy who you may or may not have listened to. You probably haven't, unless, it's kind of your thing. But we're talking about Jung Jun-young and his band, JJY Band is what it's called, and the song OMG. And for me personally, being someone who is into the rock and roll and the metal before I was into any other sort of music, the song right here, brings me back and gives me, that feeling of nostalgia of listening to some, classic, 80s metal. And it's not specifically, it doesn't have the 80s metal sound, but it just has that, just that 100%, rock and roll feel to it. The entire video, the entire song, it is really, really awesome. I love it as a fan of the rock and roll and the metal. So if you like those genres as well, you definitely should check it out if you haven't already. But I'm sure if you do like those genres, you probably already have checked it out, because he and Jung Jun-young in general is really, really awesome as a solo musician, I suppose. Another debut going to be covered in this video, coming from A6P, a rookie group coming out of a company that you have never ever heard of, or that is really, really, obscure and unknown. Their song titled Face Off was the first just rookie debut from a boy group that blew me away. And what made this even more impressive at the time was that this is a group that I didn't even know about. I don't even think I even knew that they had released a song or music video until somebody told me about it, and I checked it out, and I was like, well, these guys are hidden. Good thing I found them, because they kick ass. Their song is fantastic. They have executed this from a small company. The production and all of that stuff is like, really good, top tier, established company, status right here. And that's fantastic. It's a shame I haven't actually heard anything more from A6P, but I'm keeping my eyes out. If you've seen anything that they've released since their debut, I want to know. I really want to know. The entire thing surrounding all of that was really, really, really awesome. So we're going to finish off my 10 songs from in this video with the debut of a group from FNC Entertainment called N Flying, and their song Awesome, I should say. And this song, I like it. I really, really like it a lot, and that's because they're bringing FNC. Before we do, FNC is a company that releases their groups are that pop rock kind of group feeling. It's they're all rock group kind of things, and FNC has just releases that. AOA is the one group that stands out, even though that's the way they started, but they evolved into being like an actual girl group as their career went on. But FNC Entertainment puts out, actual like group music that is, not pop, that doesn't fit the whole K-pop mold. So I really, really like that from them. And all of their groups, honestly though, are more or less the same, especially the really, really popular ones. But N Flying's a group that's debuted. They're completely different. They're bringing a total new genre of, rock or whatever you want to call it to the K-pop scene. I really, really like it. When I listened to these guys the first time, I do believe I said in my reaction video to that song that they really, really reminded me of Rage Against the Machine. They really, really did. and they kind of had a bit of that feel to it. They kind of had a bit of that sound to it, but it definitely had a bit more of a K-pop sort of flavor to it, which is awesome. We're listening to K-pop, so you got to have that Korean pop sound and feel to it. But N-Flying is really, really awesome. Their debut song was great, and for me personally, made a real big, impact and impression. And I definitely keep an eye out and am keeping tabs on them and seeing where they're going. So there you go. 10 more songs in my list of 120 favorites from 2015. We're down through 50. We've only got 70 more to go, which means that there's 7 more videos. I'm not going to be able to finish these before the end of the year, but we will do it just about on time. So if you want to see the rest of those videos, they're all in a playlist. So definitely the videos that came before this, they're all in a playlist. So watch them and see what the other 40 songs I like are up to this point in time. And then subscribe so you see the rest of them as they come out if you aren't subscribed already. Also, get connected with me on social media. I got Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and a bunch of others. There's links in the description box below. And before you go, let me know what some of your favorite songs of 2015 were in the comments below, because I am really, really eager. I am very interested, I should say, to see what you have to say. So that is going to be it for this video. As always, I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye. Previous expectations or anything to compare it to is the song Out from Mr. Mr. And well, this is the first Mr. Mr. song I've ever listened to, so I was pleasantly surprised by this because I never really, other than I guess Tay as a solo release, as a solo since he's from Mr. Mr. But other than that, no idea who this group is.